Most guys grow up thinking that the word intimacy refers to just what happens in the bedroom. And that stuff is super important, don't get me wrong, but that's not the complete picture, not by a long shot. If you just have the bedroom stuff, then what you have is just basically like a physical release. And you end up having a lot of emptiness in your relationship, and that emptiness will catch up to you. Real intimacy is way deeper than that. It's in part knowing that your partner will be there for you. It's knowing that your partner really knows you. It's knowing that you can share your fears and your doubts and those parts of you that you feel a little shameful about. And in turn, she doesn't run away. She doesn't mistreat you and abuse you. She doesn't judge you or use that information against you down the line, because you two have a bond, and that's the bond that keeps your relationship alive. Without that bond, without that true intimacy, you're not really life partners. You're just two people living under the same roof. You may laugh together, you may have good times, but deep down inside, you know something's off here, something's missing. And I know that feeling all too well, because over a decade ago, I went through a brutal divorce. And one of the biggest reasons for the divorce was a lack of emotional intimacy. We did not know how to connect below the surface, and eventually everything fell apart. And that's why I'm here with you now. My name is Ralph, and I help men rebuild after heartbreak, recover their confidence, and create relationships that don't just survive, but thrive. And in this video, we're going to dive into emotional intimacy, what it really is, and why it does matter more than you think, and also how you can build it step by step. Let me give you an example. A guy I worked with had been married for 12 years, and he told me, he says, "Ralph, I don't get it. I'm doing everything that a husband is supposed to do. I pay the bills, I keep the house running, I plan the family trips, but somehow the wife still says that she feels alone." And you know what? I feel his frustration, because truthfully, he was not some deadbeat husband. He was a good guy. He was showing up, he was grinding it out, and you know what? I feel his frustration, because truthfully, he was really missing out on the whole emotional intimacy thing, big time. Us men feel that our actions should do all the speaking for us, don't we? We say things like, "Look, I'm doing everything you wanted. Doesn't that show that I care?" And sometimes we get in return from the wife, "I don't want you to do all these things. I want you." She wants your attention, your thoughts, your feelings, your connection. She wants to know your fears. She wants to know what you have deep down in your heart. She wants to feel with him, not just stand by his side like some kind of roommate. And that is precisely where a lot of men fall short. We do a great job of protecting and providing, but we do a piss poor job at connecting. So let's break this down. What exactly is emotional intimacy? At its core, true emotional intimacy is being able to be your real self with your woman, and she is able to do the same in return. No masks, no pretending that everything is fine, no walking on eggshells. How many of us know all about that? Just you, fully seen and fully accepted for who you are. That emotional intimacy is the foundation of everything. It's what holds everything up on the house of your relationship. The physical intimacy, yes, the sex, the spiritual connection, whatever it may be. All of it rests on top of the foundation of the emotional intimacy. And without that strong foundation of emotional intimacy, the rest of it just easily collapses. You can also think of emotional intimacy as the roof of the home, if you will. Underneath that roof is the trust, your love, your bond as a couple. But without that roof protecting you, and the love and the trust and the bond, it allows all the storms and all the stress of life to pour in. And then everything underneath starts to rot and mold. From the outside, everything looks fine, doesn't it? The house is still standing. But once you go inside and you look around a little bit, you realize this ain't gonna last very long. Without that emotional intimacy, everything will always feel a little off. You might not be able to put your finger on it at first, but deep down, with a little introspection, you do feel pretty empty in the relationship. And where it becomes really apparent and really obvious to a lot of men is in, you guessed it, the bedroom. When there's no deeper emotional connection as a long-term partner, you notice that things become kind of cold and routine, don't they? But when she feels safe, you've heard that word before, close and truly connected to you, then you notice things get a lot more fun in the old bedroom. At the end of the day, every man wants to be understood. And every woman wants to feel like her heart can be safe with you. And the emotional intimacy is what bridges the gap between the two of you. Without it, without that bridge, both sides stay empty. But with that bridge, the love feels alive again. So how do you build this bridge? How do you build this true emotional intimacy? I'm not going to lie to you, it ain't easy. It doesn't just happen by accident. You don't just stumble upon it. You have to be, like most things in a relationship, very intentional about it. Yes, it takes work. I know, surprising. Here's what I mean by work. Listen to understand, not to fix. This is the one that's really, really tough for guys, and this is where we screw it up a lot. Wife comes to you with problems from her day. She's opening up to you. She's emoting. She tells you about issue after issue that she has. And you, as a man, you jump into Mr. Fix-It mode. Have you tried this? Have you tried that? Maybe you should say this instead. I think you did that wrong. Maybe you should do this. And that is not what she wants. She doesn't want Mr. Google. She can look up all that stuff herself. She wants you. She wants your ears and your mind and your heart to listen to her, to connect with her in that moment. Think about it this way. When your buddy comes to you and he looks really shaken and you're sitting down, having a beer with each other, and he says, man, I have had the shittiest week ever. You don't immediately spring to life and go, let me give you a 5-point plan on how to fix it. What do you say? Oh man, what's going on? And you let him vent. You let him get it all out. Maybe your friend starts crying or whatever. You don't immediately try to shut him up and get him to stop crying. You just let him vent, and you're there for him. You're his buddy. And that's all your wife is looking for in that moment too. When you slow down, learn to shut your mouth and really listen and resist that urge to fix, she will feel safe. She feels like she can open up to you. She feels understood. And you know what happens? She lets you in even more because you passed the test, so to speak. You got in through the front door of her heart, and now she really lets you in deeper and deeper. And that's what strengthens that connection between the two of you. Now, the next part is rough, especially for dudes, especially for you dudes that have been hurt in past relationships. I'm talking to you guys that have been cheated on and all that fun stuff. Been there, done that, in case you didn't know. It's called letting your guard down. If you don't open up and let your woman see the real you, the true you, the one under the surface, she will never, ever feel truly safe and comfortable with you. And I get it. The whole vulnerable thing feels absolutely terrifying to a lot of men. A lot of men see it as handing over the power. You're giving power to her so that she can then in turn take it. And maybe that's happened in the past. But if that in fact did happen to you in the past, those people were royal a-holes. You can think of this as a test on your part. Let me see what my partner's really all about. Let me see if they are emotionally healthy and you are strong enough to be vulnerable with them. If they in turn take that and hurt you with it, that says a lot about them, doesn't it? Not about you. To a good woman, the moment you stop pretending to be something else and the moment you really open up to her, be truly vulnerable to her, is the moment that she feels truly safe and connected to you. Kind of funny how that works. Here's another one that's really important. You want to be fully present. You cannot build true intimacy between you and your woman if you're only kind of halfway there. If you're glued to the TV or looking at your phone, she feels completely invisible in that moment. Your presence is extremely powerful. Put your phone down, turn off the TV, and look at her. And that says, you are very, very important to me. I want to connect with you. In today's day and age, that kind of attention is actually really rare. Everyone is distracted by all these screens and everything else around us. So for you to put your phone down, turn off the screens, and look at her eye to eye, and really connect with her says a lot about you. She won't feel like she's second place anymore to all those dumb distractions all around you. And once again, she will feel safe to connect with you. Here's another important point. You want to respect her boundaries as well as your own. A big mistake that a lot of men make is that they think intimacy equals no limits. They think that you have to say yes to everything, that you have no personal space, that you never draw a line in the sand, so to speak. That's not intimacy. That is just asking for chaos. Real intimacy is built on respect. If she says in that moment that she needs space, then give it to her. If she's not ready to talk right now, don't push, let her go. Ironically, when she sees you giving her the ability to have space, she will feel more safe. There's that word again. She'll feel more secure about the two of you. And in turn, that security and safety will allow her later on to open up more. This is something that is really difficult for a lot of the anxious guys that I talk to. That anxious attachment that you have makes you want to consistently pursue her and chase after her and resolve all your little conflicts and talk about this right now. And you need closure, damn it. And sometimes you got to just let them go. The distance is fine. That's normal. Conversely, a strong man knows his own boundaries. If something doesn't sit right with you, speak up about it. If you need to take a pause to process and think about things before reacting, then say so. Respect is not one-sided. It goes both ways. She needs to respect your boundaries as well. And when both of you feel respected, the intimacy grows. Another important point, doing things together. A lot of guys think that real intimacy is only about sitting on the couch and long nights talking over a glass of wine. No, it's about the little things that you do together as a couple. Cooking dinner together, walking side by side, doing a little hobby together. These little moments create memories between the two of you. It's those little inside jokes as well that you have between the two of you. Those random nights where you just could not stop laughing at something. The little rituals that you two have between each other that nobody else knows about. That's the stuff that bonds you as a couple. Every time you share one of those little experiences together, you are weaving together another thread in the connection between the two of you. And the more threads you have, the stronger the bond. Another important point, ask deeper questions. questions. When it comes to conversations, a lot of us have very like autopilot type of small talk BS, don't we? How was your day? What's for dinner? Those aren't bad questions, but there's nothing deep and emotional and connecting about those. If you want real intimacy, ask her something like, so, what was the best part of your day? Or, what's one dream that you have that you still want to chase? These aren't just questions, but they're doors. Doors into her hopes, her fears, her passions. They remind you that you're not just sharing, bills and responsibility and kids and all other good stuff. You're sharing lives together. When you ask those deeper questions, she feels alive. She feels noticed. She feels like you actually want to know her and not just live beside her. That is the difference between growing apart and growing together. Let's look at more real-world examples of conversation starters. Things that you can ask your wife to grow that intimacy between the two of you. Some of what we've covered up to this point, some of you may say that sounds kind of corny and cheesy. Well, here's some other examples for you. Good question to ask. What's a childhood memory that shaped who you are today? That one will tell you a lot about them. Another good question. When did you feel the closest to me? That's a pretty powerful one. It gives her a chance to share moments that made her feel really connected to you in the moment. And then you get to see what really matters to her the most. Here's another good question. What's the one thing that you wish I understood better about you? This takes all the guesswork out of things, doesn't it? Gets right to the heart of the matter. What is it that you wish I knew? A lot of guys like to say that women don't really communicate directly, but what you're saying right now is communicate directly with me. I want to hear it. What's the one thing you wish I knew better? And then, of course, really listen. These aren't cheesy lines. They're not corny. They're real, genuine bridges of intimacy. Every time you ask one of these questions, every time you have one of these little life moments, you're building bricks of that foundation. Or if you want to use the roof metaphor, you're adding shingles to the roof. You're strengthening it. And eventually the structure feels unshakable, no matter what hits it. Bottom line is, emotional intimacy is the glue that holds everything else in the relationship together. Without it, the relationship is fragile, like a home with no foundation. But with that emotional intimacy, love feels exciting, life feels lighter, and your bond becomes strong enough to endure a lot of the crap that life throws at it. The good news is that even if you're at the point in your relationship where you feel just like roommates, there's no real intimacy and connection between the two of you, it's not too late to build it. And if you've never ever had it before, that's not very good, but there is a chance that you can build it from scratch. But it only happens if you are willing to show up, to drop that man armor that you've put around yourself, and really put yourself out there, to truly listen to them. Don't just listen with your ears either. Listen with your heart. That's exactly what makes a woman stand by you in life, not just today, but in the long run. If this video spoke to you, do me a favor. Click on the subscribe button below. So drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you would like to join in real conversation with real men that are working on these issues and a lot more, check out the Brotherhood at helpformen.com. We're a private community of guys from all over the world working together on our problems. And here's the truth. Always remember this. Relationships don't fall apart because of a lack of love. They fall apart because of a lack of connection. And you do not have to let that be your story.